Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to show you how to clean your home like a nurse. At the time this video is being filmed, it is almost the end of December, which means we are smack dab in the middle of flu and RSV season, and not to mention, we're in the middle of a worldwide pandemic. So the things that we come in contact with at work are awful. Germs, so many viruses, so much bacteria, and we are tracking these things back to our homes, to our families. And I don't know about you guys, but I have a baby here at home and she is all over the place. She is walking now, she still crawls around on the floor, she touches everything, and guess where the first place that everything goes when she gets a hold of it is? You got it, right to her mouth. So there are extra steps that I have to take, especially during this time of year in flu and RSV season, when I'm cleaning my home, because I have to protect her from things that could potentially be brought in, not only from myself from work, but also my older kids. They go to public school. They are in the thick of the germs just like we are at work in public school. It's like a breeding ground for these things, for strep and rhinovirus and pink eye, and you name it, like it's being brought home. So it's really important that I take extra steps here at home when it comes to like high touch surfaces and high traffic areas in my home. So we are going to talk about how I go about cleaning these areas, and we're going to go over the products that I use to do so. So first, I want to start by explaining that there is a difference between cleaning, sanitizing, and disinfecting. These are three different things. When you clean something, you are just wiping the debris off of the surface of what you're cleaning. You're not getting rid of any germs, you're not getting rid of any bacteria, you're not killing any viruses. You are just simply getting the debris off the surface. That is cleaning. When you are sanitizing something, you are cleaning it off, like cleaning the debris off of the surface, and you are also decreasing the number of pathogens on that surface, like getting rid of some of the bacteria, some of the germs, but you're not killing off everything. You're just decreasing the amount of it. When you disinfect something, that is when you are actually killing off bacteria and viruses and microorganisms from the surface that you are cleaning. So I'm going to go over some of the products that I use for all three of those things, because you're going to clean different things in your home accordingly. So first, let's take a look at the products that I use, and then I will show you how I use them in my home. Okay, so these are examples of products that I would use if I were going to just clean a surface, if I was just wiping the debris off of the surface. This is a multi-purpose cleaner by Mrs. Meyer's. I love it. It smells amazing, but this, when I spray it on my countertops, is only going to clean the debris off and make it smell good. A lot of times to clean surfaces, I will use some hot water and a little bit of Dawn dish soap, because it cleans really well with a microfiber cloth. On stainless steel, I would use these little wipes. These are examples of products, like I said, that are just cleaning debris off of the surface. We are not getting rid of any germs with these products. Here are some products that I would use if I were going to sanitize objects. So sanitize means that I am just decreasing the amount of bacteria. I love this Tide Antibacterial Spray. I use this on a lot of cloth surfaces that cannot be washed, such as my kids' mattresses, maybe footstools, couch cushions, curtains. I would use this on things that I cannot put in the washer, but I still need to get rid of some of the germs on. Also, this Method antibacterial all-purpose cleaner, I really love this for sanitizing things like my countertops, maybe the bathroom sink. Those are examples of what I would use this on. It is just an all-purpose cleaner with antibacterial properties. Now, Method's antibacterial spray is special. It falls in kind of a gray area when it comes to sanitizing versus disinfecting, because this can actually do both. And this is where I want to encourage you to read the labels on your cleaning products, because they will have specific amounts of time that these cleaning products need to sit on the surface to do what they need to do, whether you're sanitizing or disinfecting. So for example, as you can see on the label here on this Method antibacterial all-purpose spray, this says if I'm going to sanitize, and remember that just means we're reducing the amount of germs that are on the surface, I'm going to spray this on a hard, non-porous surface. So this is not suitable for like fabrics like our Tide antibacterial spray would be. And I'm going to wet it thoroughly, and then I'm going to let this set for up to 5 minutes before I start wiping it off. So if you're spraying this all over the counter and you're immediately wiping it off with your cleaning cloth, that's not helpful. That's just cleaning, that's just wiping the debris off. It's not going to sanitize, it's not going to disinfect. This label tells me that if I do want to disinfect rather than sanitize, then I have to thoroughly wet the surface of whatever it is that I'm disinfecting, and I have to let it set for up to 10 minutes to actually kill bacteria, viruses, and microorganisms. So keep that in mind when you are using these products. Make sure that you're reading the labels, because they have directions for specific amount of times. And if you're not following those directions, then you are going to just be doing all of that for nothing. It's not going to be effective. Now let's look at some of the products that I use to actually disinfect things in my home, and that is where I am actually killing off bacteria, viruses, microorganisms. So here are some of the products that I would use to disinfect things in my home. If I am looking to disinfect my floors, I will use this Lysol and dilute it with some water and use it to mop my floors with. This is what I would use to clean like light switches, remote controls, doorknobs. And this good old bleach is actually my all-time favorite. It's very easily accessible. You can make up a very weak bleach solution and clean just about any hard surface in your home. For the toilet, I really love using these Clorox toilet wands. And like I said, you do have to read the directions. This has to sit in your toilet after you scrub it for at least 10 minutes before it's actually disinfecting anything. This product is kind of special. It is very hard for me to find because it's only sold in the UK. Sometimes I can find it on Amazon, but it is called Zoflora, and it is sort of like the UK's version of Lysol or Clorox. It comes in like this little glass bottle, and it's very concentrated, so you can mix it. It has mixing directions on it into like a little spray bottle, and use it to disinfect things in your home like trash cans, sinks, countertops, toilets, you name it. I really love this, and it comes in a lot of different scents. Over the past summer and spring, I used the lavender and the rose scent a lot of the Zoflora, and I really love it. It smells great and it disinfects, which is not something that you're always going to get with bleach. Now, bleach does come in different scents now, and it even actually comes unscented for those of you who maybe have COPD or asthma and you just can't tolerate different scents. So there is alternatives to that you can use and still disinfect your home. All right, now that we've went over the products that we are going to use to clean the house today, nurse style, let's talk about how we are going to use these products. So first of all, one of the things that I use the most, like I said, is just the regular bleach because it's super accessible, it's very cheap, and it works fantastic. It's actually one of the things that I use at work the most. I am a dialysis nurse, so I am dealing with blood 24/7, and one of the only things that kills viruses and bacteria happens to be bleach. So everything is wiped down from head to toe with bleach water at work, and I find it to be just as effective for wiping down high touch surfaces here at home. And it does not mess up things like door handles and light switches and remote controls. It's not corrosive to it whatsoever. So I do use that the most. Do keep in mind when you are making up your bleach water solution, and we'll go over how to make that, that you do need to be wearing gloves when you are cleaning with bleach solution. I have some different rags that I use, and I just keep a whole drawer of just worn out, ratty looking rags, or like these surgical cloths that I got, you know, from years of working in surgery that I use to clean with. And that way I can just toss them into the washing machine when I'm done and get them all cleaned up. And I do the same for my mop. I have these little like reusable mop heads that I use, and I just toss them in the washing machine when I'm finished using them. So first, let's make up a little bleach water solution in the laundry room, and I will show you how I mix mine so that it can be the most effective. So to make this bleach solution, we are going to start off by putting some water in the sink, and you're going to need about 1 gallon of water. This is what I would call a 100 bleach solution. And this is going to effectively clean and disinfect the way that you want. So I have my bleach, I have my measuring cup, and we are going to do 1/4 of a cup of bleach to 1 gallon of water. And be careful not to splash on your favorite scrubs. So we have 1/4 cup of bleach, and we're just going to pour this into our water. And that should be about a gallon of water right there. So now that we have our solution made, all we have to do is put on our gloves and get our cleaning cloths and start wiping things down. So another reason that just good old bleach water is one of my preferred methods for disinfecting things in my home is also because a lot of the things that I would normally use in my home to disinfect things, such as Clorox wipes or Lysol or Zoflora, like they are hard to get. Thank you, pandemic. You cannot just walk in your store anymore and buy some Clorox wipes like we always could before. These things are getting so hard to find, and they're like flying off the shelves as soon as stores restock. So bleach water is pretty much always available to make. Like you can find bleach anywhere. And it does not have to be Clorox brand. It can literally be any brand. Bleach is bleach is bleach. It doesn't matter. So we've got our 1/100 bleach mixture made up. Let's put on some gloves, grab a rag, and get to wiping things down. So I'm just going to be going around the house, kind of wiping off really good these high touch areas, like my light switches and my doorknobs, especially on the kids' rooms, because Lord knows what they're bringing home too. And you want to make sure that you get both sides of the doors. So let's go here in Allison's room real quick and get the other side of the doorknob. I'm going to wipe down all of their light switches and remote controls in their room as well, and just let these air dry. If there's any cabinet door handles that you use a lot, I would wipe those down with the bleach water as well. This one is our coffee cup cabinet, so you know I'm using that every single day. This is definitely a high touch area in my home. And then this is the drawer where I keep like all of my coffee filters and stuff like that. So this one gets touched like pretty much every day, also multiple times a day. So I'm going to go ahead and disinfect those also. Another thing that I feel like is important is switching cleaning rags from room to room. So if I'm doing the kitchen, I'm going to use one rag. If I'm doing the bathroom, I'm going to use a separate rag. If I'm doing the laundry room, once again, a separate rag, because I don't want to cross-contaminate from one room to another. Another high touch area in our home are the faucets, like in the bathrooms. So we're gonna wipe those down really good. This part gets used a lot because it comes out and kind of sprays out the sink. So that's something that the kids are touching often. I'm also going to be wiping down remote controls and video game controls in Trace's room. Now let's talk about our countertops. I've got my Method Antibacterial Spray, and I'm just going to spray this onto my countertop here on the island. And this needs to be wet thoroughly, like you need to see the condensation on the countertop. So I'm going to spray it pretty thick. And the directions on this say that to disinfect, not just to clean or to sanitize, I have to let this sit for a minimum of 10 minutes. So I'm going to go set a timer on my phone, and then we will wipe this up. And that is another reason why you do have to spray it on there pretty heavily, because if you wait 10 minutes, like, it's pretty much all going to dry. And then also remember, if there is any debris on the countertops, to clean that off first. Otherwise, the product cannot do its job if it has to try to work through the debris. So if it's messy, wipe it off first with maybe soap and water, wet rag, doesn't matter, just get the debris off, and then spray on your disinfectant. So let's go set a timer on the phone, and in 10 minutes we'll be back to wipe this up. All right, so our 10 minutes is up. Let's get this countertop wiped off. We have our countertops clean. We have went over doorknobs, light switches, faucets in the bathroom, faucets in the kitchen. We have went over remote controls, gaming controls, ceiling fan controls. We have went over cabinet door handles that are frequently used, all of those high touch places. Now, let's check out our Clorox wipes and see if there are any special directions on those to make sure that we are using them effectively. Okay, so on the Clorox wipes, on the back in the directions, it says if we are just going to clean, then all we have to do is wipe down the surface with this product and let it air dry. But if we are going to disinfect, we need to wipe the surface. We need to use enough wipes for the treated surface area to remain visibly wet for up to 4 minutes before it is going to be disinfected. It's gonna not kill anything if you do not let this sit for at least 4 minutes, and it has to be visibly wet. That can actually take a lot of Clorox wipes because it's not like these things are dripping when they come out. So you may have to use, 3 or 4 Clorox wipes to keep it visibly wet for 4 minutes. Just keep that in mind when you're wiping things down with these. There's a few places in my home that I use these that I know that the baby goes to a lot and messes around. There's a shelf in the living room underneath the TV that she's always messing around in. She's always got her hands on. So we're gonna run in there real quick and disinfect that area from her little hands. So this little shelf here is the one that I'm talking about underneath the TV. So let's get out enough of these wipes. I would say probably about 3 to make this visibly wet. And we're just gonna wipe this down. It's still hard with 3 to make it like visibly wet. But I think this is doing the trick. This is a place that she touches a lot. You could probably see her little handprints all over this. So you can see like how you would go through a lot of these if you have to let this sit for 4 minutes and be like actually wet instead of just wiping off the dirt. So we're gonna let that set and we'll be good to go there. Another place that I really like to use the Clorox wipes is on the toilet, especially this handle area. Remove all of these and just kind of wipe this down really well. Let's lift up the lid here. some of our Clorox wipes. Just kind of wipe this all down. Now, speaking of the toilet, these little Clorox wands are amazing for cleaning the toilet. You don't have to get your hands in there. They have these nice little scrubby things on the end, and they do disinfect. Now, on the back of this box, the label states that this does have to sit inside the toilet for a minimum of 10 minutes before our toilet bowl is actually disinfected. So let's do a little scrubbing on the inside of the toilet now that we've gotten the outside clean and shiny. So I'm going to just get this wet for about 2 seconds, and it activates all of the blue cleaning stuff inside of the Clorox wand. I'm going to scrub all around the toilet bowl with my little wand, making sure to get around this little edge here because a lot of bacteria and mold can collect up there. Now, when you are finished scrubbing, you just want to press this against the side of the toilet bowl to get the excess out, and this little button just flings it into the trash so it's touch free. Now this just sits in our toilet bowl, and remember, it has to sit there for a minimum of 10 minutes before it is disinfected. Honestly, I just usually leave it in there until the next person goes to the bathroom, and that is plenty of time. Let's talk for a minute about cleaning our floors. This is the mop that I use. I absolutely love this. It's from Cedar. It comes with this little mop handle, and it has the reusable mop heads that I just throw in the washer. So this is what we're going to use to mop the floors with. I'm just going to make up a little solution inside my mop bucket here with this and some water, and we are going to get these floors cleaned up. And this is especially important like right when you walk into the house. So this is a super high traffic area in my home, so this is one that I focus on more so than the other parts of the house. So I'm just going to start by removing the debris from the surface that I'm going to be disinfecting. So I've got my vacuum out, and I'm just going to run that over the floor really quick just to get any debris up that might be settled there. Now that we've got our floor all vacuumed up, we are going to apply our Lysol solution that we made. And I think that it is important, like I said, to read the back of the bottle, because with this mopping solution, you don't just mop it on the floor and let it air dry. And this is where having 2 mop heads really come in handy. It's always good to buy extras for whatever mop you're using, because the back of our label on our Lysol says to make a 1 ounce to 5 ounce mixture, 1 ounce cleaning solution to 5 ounces of water solution, and to wipe this onto the surface of what you're disinfecting rather than cleaning, and to let it sit for 6 minutes and then wipe it up. So that's why we're going to need 2 mop heads for this. We are going to apply our solution with this first mop head, and then we are going to let it sit for at least 6 minutes, setting a timer on our phone so that we can be sure that it's long enough. And then we are going to take our second mop head and put hot water on it and then wipe up our solution. So let's get mopping. I like this mop because it wrings out a lot of the water from the mop, but when I'm trying to disinfect, I do want the surface to be pretty saturated, so I'm not going to wring it out as much as I normally would if I was just cleaning the floor. So I'm just going to give it a few spins, and then we are going to start mopping. So as you can see, this surface is thoroughly wet. So we're going to let this sit for 6 minutes, and then we will come wipe it off. While I'm waiting on the floor to dry in the entryway, I'm going to mix up a little mixture of that Zoflora to spray on the couch to disinfect that. And the reason that I'm using that today over my Tide Antibacterial Spray is because the Zoflora says on the back that it specifically targets the RSV virus, which is something that I am particularly concerned with this time of year, having a baby at home. So let's mix this up and get our couch sprayed off while Emery is napping. So I have my glass spray bottle and I've just put some water in that. We are going to use our concentrated Zoflora and pour some of that into our spray bottle. And they recommend like a 1 in 40 mixture, and I just kind of guesstimated that. On the label of this box, it does list some of the bacteria and the viruses that this product claims to get rid of, and this one includes E. coli, MRSA, Salmonella, Listeria, influenza, H1N1 virus, which was a big problem at one time. It even says it gets rid of the human herpes virus. That's nice. It gets rid of the rotavirus. That's one that you have to be careful with a lot of babies that they are vaccinating for now. It also says that it gets rid of RSV, and that is the one that we were particularly concerned with Emery. Now, she's not premature, but that does not save her from getting into trouble if she comes into contact with this virus. So we're just going to mix up our solution and let's go to the couch and get this sprayed on. Okay, so we've got our spray and we are just going to spray it on our couch cushions really good, and especially down low here where Emery Joy can reach and climb up onto the couch now. She loves playing on these pillows, so we're just going to spray them off really good. And we are going to let this air dry. These are the type of projects that I definitely have to do while she is napping. On the box, this does say that it is safe to use around children and pets, but I would still rather her not have it on her hands. I'm also just going to spray the rug because she plays down here a lot on this rug. This is one of the areas that she spends a lot of time on. We don't wear shoes in the house, so we're trying to, not track a lot of stuff in onto this rug that she plays with. But we do walk on it, so I do want to just give that a good spray and let all of this air dry. Now for Emery's toys here, these little stuffed animals like this that are plush can go into the dryer on the sanitize setting, and we do that about once a week with her toys that are plush. Other toys like rubber ones or plastic ones, like this for example, can go in the dishwasher on the sanitize cycle, or they can be soaked in a little bit of a bleach solution in the laundry room sink. And that just kind of takes all the germs and stuff off of her toys, because these are the things that she plays with the most. We keep them here in the living room for her. So the entryway is finished. It has dried. It has been mopped a second time with water, mopping up our solution that we put down with the Lysol really thick. And I have replaced the rug and I have added my bucket back. This bucket, I feel like, really helps keep down on bacteria coming into the house, because it is what we use to take our shoes off and put it in when we come into the door. So immediately when we come into the door, our shoes come off and they go into the bucket. Now, a lot of times with Emery, I do have to put this bucket into the entryway closet because she likes to get in it and mess with the shoes, obviously, and wants to put things in her mouth, which is disgusting considering all of the things that we walk through during the day. But for those of you who do not have little ones at home, you can buy these small plastic buckets. I did get this one at Hobby Lobby, but they have these at the Dollar Tree all day long, every day. in multiple colors and multiple patterns, and they are great to keep right by the door. I get white because when I am cleaning up things and disinfecting things, I can dump the shoes out, put some bleach water in it, and let it set for a while and disinfect that as well. All right, we are back in the laundry room about to wrap up this video. There is one more tip that I want to leave you with, and that is to help avoid cross-contamination. We do not want to put up our cleaning products dirty and germy. So before I put them up, I'm going to wipe down the handles of all of my spray bottles and wipe down my bottles with a Clorox wipe. And I'm going to soak my brushes, like my toilet brush and my scrub brush, in my sink of bleach water that I'm finished with, and let it set for at least 10 minutes before I let them air dry and put them away. Well, that wraps up this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate your support on this channel so much. It really means the world to me. I hope that you were able to find some inspiration in this video on things that you might be able to implement in your own home to clean nurse style. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.
I've been trying my best for a while, trying to please everyone who's around me. I've been putting on a fake smile, even though I'm wasting time.